Find a new job? Okay. I was working for a small local store chain, 17 stores across the state, paid $1 over minimum wage, apparently had decent benefits if you were full-time, they made sure no one was, and wasn't too terrible. Then last week the entire staff at a different store quit at once. Didn't think much of it until our boss's boss came in and said he needed people to go cover that store. It was 42 miles away. Do we get any sort of raise or gas money? No, we don't pay you to drive to work. Will we work 8-hour shifts? No, you're all part-time employees. Of course, everyone started voicing their disapproval. Half of us don't drive at all, and most share a car with a family member. We're making maybe $20K a year and now they want us to drive over 1 hour each way in traffic to work a 3 to 5 hour shift. The director, got upset and said, I will be back tomorrow and expect 4 volunteers. If you don't want to be a team player, I suggest you find another job. So, I did just what he suggested. Went online and found companies offering entry-level positions for several dollars an hour more and some even had a signing bonus. I had 2 interviews set up the same day and ended up taking a warehouse job that paid $3 more and had a $1,000 bonus after 120 days. 2 other co-workers got a job there as well and we're encouraging everyone at our store to apply. Apparently, the job market has gone crazy lately but none of us were really looking. We didn't realize we were underpaid.
Now to the comments. Good for you. Boss sounds like a megadick and is probably eating his words right now.
He probably won't see any of his actions as the cause and it's all just entitled youths wanting a handout and not knowing what hard work is.
That's probably how he'll phrase it. It would be awesome if his boss was told in clear terms that what director, said is the reason people are walking out. Makes me wonder if he did something similar at the other location. It's not common for a whole store to lose its workforce. This sounds like terrible management. All the employees of the other store quitting at once should be a red flag.
Yeah, the kind with flashing red strobe lights and neon sign that blinks hell no over and over. Disco ball too much?
So many red flags it's a Soviet parade. No, we don't pay you to drive to work. You do if the location of work is different to the usual one. What a twat.
I just worked at a different branch than I usually do for almost 2 months and on top of the mileage reimbursement the DM gave me a $200 bonus as a thank you for helping cover.
Stuff like this is what makes employees happy. It's next to nothing for a company but a happy staff is often the best working staff. So oh, this is gold. It really blows my mind though how these people get into a position of power/ownership. How in the world was this business model successful enough to open 17 stores, yet alone 1?
OP replied. I think they're down from about 30 stores.
Hopefully the trend continues. This is the way to go. Even if you're happy where you are, it doesn't hurt to have a "is the grass greener on the other side" mentality. You have to do what's best for you.
Right now, it's a workers' market. Now is the time to move jobs if you are unhappy with your current position.
I absolutely love that this is happening. Employers in the US have treated workers like crap for too long. Wages have stagnated for decades. I'm so thankful you were able to do this. Hope to other employees as well. There's a reason jobs are open, and it has very little to do with willingness to work, as employers would like us to believe.
It has everything to do with people being done with being treated like slaves and severely underpaid and undervalued while all the profit goes to owners and stockholders. These people at the top have to see that if you don't invest in your personnel capital, you won't have a company to get profits from. They have been told time and time again by the investment gurus that they need to invest in employees as well as the physical environment of the business, because it takes people who work the business to make money. It has been shown that they benefit by raising salaries, not suffer for it.
It started around the same time as the personnel department became human resources. The employees were all suddenly downgraded from persons to just another resource, no different than metal or plastic or screws or office supplies, and to be treated no differently either. Get the highest quality at the lowest price, and if it wears out or it's not working right, replace it. Guaranteed that boss found some news outlet willing to interview him on the shortage of workers because they are sitting at home instead of working. People kept telling those in lower wage positions to get better jobs for years. And now that it's happening.
OP replied, I hope he does. I'll email them and ask if they want a juicy interview with former employees who just left for better paying jobs.
Spoiler, they won't. The news rarely covers anything from the worker's perspective. I hope you go into every one of those stores and encourage all your former colleagues to look elsewhere. Teach the boss who really keeps his business running. Maybe he'll start treating people right. If you tell your employees that they can leave if they don't like their jobs, don't be surprised if they leave. Even if you're sure you will never leave your job, it's important to keep an eye on job listings for your field. This applies to all jobs, from entry level and all the way up. You need to know what competitive pay is for your skill set and what prospects are out there. Knowing what you are worth to your employer is important.
What you are worth, and what you are worth to your employer are different things. The problem is that there is usually a big gap here.
Agreed. Both important to know. What you're worth to your employer is whatever they'd have to pay to replace you. Wonder why this chain has issues retaining workers? Congratulations. Sounds like your boss did you a favor. We all need a push sometimes. Did you ever hear the story? The Tragedy of Darth Capitalist. Not a story your boss would tell you. Incompetence leads to quitting, one store quitting leads to another, and profits are reduced by failing to continue to exploit labor. The Big Quit continues. Please tell us what that arse of a manager/director said or did when you all quit as well. Just tell him, we did as you suggested. We found other and better jobs. The demand to drive far longer for no more pay was just idiotic management. Good, encourage others now you don't work there. For real, take the time to stop by and shop and tell other employees to leave. The boss is not paying attention to the world around him. Oh, well. Too bad for him. Oh yes. You're all underpaid. Almost everyone working is underpaid. That's why everyone is offering huge sign-on bonuses and raising their starting wages in a last-ditch effort to get employees. Somehow the COVID shutdown made people realize they didn't have to be treated like slaves to survive, so now companies are scrambling for help. People keep saying no one wants to work. Nah, no one wants to work for much less than they're worth and be treated like shit. You might share with r/I quit serves them right. In my opinion, one of the best things to come out of this pandemic is the worker shortage. I've worked minimum wage jobs for 5 years now, in a state where the min wage was being slowly raised every, I believe, 2 years. So regardless of the raises I got, I always made min wage, which sucked, because everything else was increasing too. For the first time ever I'm actually be offered competitive wages and bonuses to stay on for my job. The owners are, for the first time ever, sending our emails and telling us how much they appreciate us, giving us little bonuses here and there. It actually feels nice.